Oh, there it is. Could you put the other pot on as well there, Paul, you there? And would you mind hitting record on the thing? Hey, thanks, dude. Hey, anything else? Yeah. And that's the time I met Diana Ross.
The other pot on as well there, Paul, you
Excuse me.
Would you mind hitting record on?
All right, we're going to go ahead and share this out.
Hey, thanks,
Get
dude.
everybody who's watching.
Hey, anything else?
Who watches this all the time. And that's the time I met Diana Ross. Is that on your phone? Excuse me.
Would you mind hitting record?
No.
Oh, maybe it was on here. It was probably on here on this thing. Dude. Hey, Craig Schilling. What's up, man? All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this on Twitter. Would you go share the Facebook one as well that we just did?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's see. The Riot Podcast. The Riot Podcast with me and at Theriot7 is live. Watch. Boom. Sheboygan. Boom. Shaboy. Shaboy. That's Jay-Z, 99 Problems. At the end when he goes, it's your boy.
Shaboy?
He goes, Shaboy. Like, it's your boy, but
Yeah.
he goes, Shaboy. All right.
Do you love that?
Do.
Here we go.
Do. I don't hear myself at all here. Paul. I don't hear myself. Oh, you know why I don't hear myself? You know why?
What an idiot.
My headphone isn't plugged in. So stupid. Woo. All right, hang on. Now let's try this. Hello. Check. All right. There we go. Are we ready to do stupid podcast stuff? Hey, let's say some hellos to these people. Hi, Devin Kelly.
Hey, Devin.
Hi, Paul O'Neill.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Kirk Taylor.
Kirk.
Hi, Matthew Rogelio.
I like Matthew.
He said, yo, brotato chips.
I don't mind that.
Potato chips.
Pretty good.
Someone on Morning Scone calls me Protein Shake. It's like, what's up, Protein Shake? I like it a lot. And my dad's watching.
The Deke.
And then Shelby Kelly's watching. What's up, Shelby?
Hey, Shelby.
Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Got to pull up this podcast open thing here. Let me see if we can see this. Oh, let's see. All right, here we go. We ready? Paul, ready? Ryan, are you ready? Okay, here we go. It's podcast time.
Let's do it.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at rtheriot7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
Okay, let's get it. Riot Podcast, presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. I'm Matt. He's Ryan. You're you. Thanks for being here. If you're watching on Facebook Live, please hit the share button. If you're listening to the podcast at a later date than when we record this, live at noon Central Time on Tuesdays, well, then don't hit the share button. Unless if you're watching on Facebook later, you can still hit the share, and that's helpful.
You can do that.
There's a question in the Facebook Live that's from Kirk, who said, Theriot, you ready to play this weekend? I think LSU could use you in the lineup. It's worth noting, your volume's up on that. It's worth noting that LSU baseball has 11 position players available. There's 8 in the field at a given time. And one of those is a catcher, and it's a very specialized position that not everybody can play. How do you win with 11 players?
I've played on many teams that have won with 11 players.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, your guys have to do what they're supposed to do. A major league roster is either constructed of a combination of 11, 14, 12, 13. And so can it be done? Absolutely. I'm super fired up because there's some pitchers right now that may get a shot. Like, this is going to be fun for this team. It's changing something up. And I'm trying to think of, like, who would be the guy that would be, like, the first pitcher
That
to
gets
go in
to
the
hit
game.
or play in the field?
Both, you know.
When? Wait. So, like, but what scenario would unfold that you would put a pitcher in a position, player role?
A couple guys get hurt.
But what if that doesn't happen?
Well, then, you know, There's pitchers taking batting practice, like legit batting practice today.
No.
I guarantee it.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We going Austin Bain on it again?
Yes.
Didn't Clay Moffitt get in that bat? And I think he walked maybe.
He'd probably be the guy.
Clay's an athlete now.
Yeah.
Like, people forget that. I mean, he's Tommy's kid, so you know that he's been bred to be an athlete, but he's also the guy that if any team ever decided to, like, charge the mound, or if there was a college baseball brawl, Clay Moffitt and Trent Vettmeyer, I think and then Zach Hess as well, because he's a giant. Because most baseball players are like you. They're like 5'6", 120. And then you've got Vettmeyer and Hess who's 6'6", 230. He looks like a legit defensive end. I mean,
5'6", 120.
You got some action. You know what I mean? Like, I think they could wreck any fight in baseball.
Do you?
You don't? Moffitt for sure.
Okay.
And then look at Vettmeyer. He looks all kinds of crazy, doesn't he?
It's the hair, yeah, and he does.
Now,
He's got a crazy face.
And because he's like not subtly jacked. He wears a jersey that's probably 2 sizes too small just so he bulges out of it.
Yeah.
Like, the one guy that they've seen all season that might be able to take him was the pitcher from Missouri this last weekend, Sycamore. Did you see that guy's
I did not.
Dude,
Huge.
the guy who started Saturday, the lefty, shoulders are this broad, and he's got the V in his back. I mean, that's a big kid with some broad shoulders, man.
He's a guy.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
I would love to see Moffitt and Sycamore
Square
in a
up.
battle to the death. Well, not to the death.
Cage match?
Sure.
You go cage match with those guys. I think probably Hilliard seems like he could play a position. I know he can run. I think that
There's no way they play Mikhail Hilliard in the field.
he could play a position. He could
Not
run.
happening.
I think that let's see who else could probably do.
Well, there's one very
Pitchers.
obvious one that could hit that you're missing.
Stores? Is he playing right now?
No.
Oh, Peterson.
The
He rakes.
only guy
He rakes.
who's got a perfect 1,000 career batting average,
He rakes,
who
yeah.
bombed a double off the wall in the SEC tournament. Don't tell me he can't do
Yeah,
it.
You're right.
I'm going to tell you this. Hey, let me tell you this much. Chris Reed has been a collegiate hitter for 4 years, and he has one ball that's gone over the fence in his career. Like, that's the definition of warning track power. Todd Peterson takes one flip and swing, and he bangs a double off the wall. He was about 2 feet from a homer. One swing.
So he's your DH, obviously. Who's your pitcher that goes in the field?
Am I crazy for saying let that guy hack?
Just let him go up there and swing it a little bit.
I mean, could it be any worse?
Dang, it's tough. In San Francisco, Jeff Samardzija played the field.
He was a dude.
NCAA wide receiver.
I mean, All-America wide receiver. I don't know if he was All-American, but he was a really good wide
Close.
receiver at Notre Dame.
Tell LaRon Landry got a hold of him.
Oh, that'll make you quit football.
Yeah, quick.
It was funny how everybody was so high on that Notre Dame team in 06, and then they met Jamarcus and Dwayne Bowe and Buster Davis and LaRon Landry, and you're like, oh, my God, this is overwhelming. How did that team not
It was
win the
too much.
national championship?
Those guys were good.
It's embarrassing.
They were loaded. Yeah, so it's fun, man. Like, so you can put people in different roles, and I think you're going to see a different energy in the dugout. I really do. I think this is good. Obviously, it's not ideal. You don't want to be in this situation with 11 position players, but things like this kind of shake stuff up, and you got guys injured, and then, dudes are hitting BP, maybe playing in different positions. You break up the Groundhog Day monotony feel that happens every time with baseball. I think it's good. I think it's going to be fun, and it's not going to hurt these guys. Teams operate like this all the time. I've broken spring training with 11 position players before, and then injuries will occur, and you have to move dudes around. But, I think it's cool. I got my first inning. My one inning that I pitched at LSU was –
I remember it.
Yeah, I mean –
Ole Miss?
Auburn, Ole Miss, one of them.
That was Ole Miss.
Might have been Ole Miss.
Oh, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
I remember you going to the mound having to tape the tape off your wrists.
Took the tape off the wrist.
I remember it.
Skip's like, no knuckleballs.
Did you throw any?
So I drilled the first guy.
I remember.
Walked the second guy. And think bases are loaded at this point.
You
And
get a pop up on the infield?
I looked in the dugout, and at that point, Skip had left the dugout. He was in the tunnel smoking a cigar. So I looked at the dugout, like, well, he's not there anymore. And so I go knuckleball, pop up to Wally at third base, got out of it.
I remember.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I remembered the infield pop up?
Yep. That is weird.
That is a little weird. Like you don't even remember. You don't remember.
I
at,
don't remember. Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
remember at bats in the World Series. I remember you getting an infield pop up against Ole Miss in '99.
It was so.
It had to be 2000 if it was Wally. 2000 or 2001.
I cannot tell you how excited I was to watch Waylon Guidry get destroyed on the mound because I knew, and look, and he's my boy too.
Yeah.
Like we were tight, and he still is. I love Waylon, but he just kept giving it up, and it's like at that point, you're not going to bring in another pitcher. We're going to lose the game, and Skip started to waddle out there to the mound, and I'm like, is this it?
Had you practiced before?
Every day,
Like in practice though?
not like legit for the coaches, but I threw a flat ground every single day.
Oh really?
So the day I finished playing in the major leagues, I threw a flat ground every day just in case they needed me. I was ready.
You never went up on the bump?
And not in pro ball.
It's different though.
No, I would sneak that in. Yeah, from time to time. I'm just making sure I still got my release point. Like, dude,
So stupid.
listen, this is in the big leagues. I had my throwing partner knew that when we were like done throwing, like, all right, bro, get down for about 10. Like he knew that I need to just make sure I got all my stuff just in case. And when Skip walked out to that mound, and we made eye contact, like I got nervous. Like this is it. Tape started.
What did he say? Big guy.
Yep, had to take out the batting gloves out of the back pocket, my swag, and
Yeah.
then had to take the wrist tape off.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was a great moment for me.
Okay. It's the Riot Podcast. We'll see what we see tonight. So a couple of things, though, practically speaking, for tonight. LSU plays ULL in the Pontiff Classic. They're obviously not going to burn anybody. They play a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, so obviously they're not going to burn anybody that could be of importance to them on Thursday. So you're not going to burn Beck or Fontenot or Peterson. My guess is Hilliard's got to start on Thursday. I don't know that you have another option.
Well, is Hess ruled out?
He's not ruled out,
Okay.
but I mean, are we really going to assume that an injury? Hess had a groin injury at the beginning of the season, like the first inter squad that they had, intra squad, he had a groin injury. He missed the next two, but he started the opener. Like he had just gotten back for that. I mean, if you assume 2 weeks, is 5 days really enough?
I think it depends on the severity of the injury. The growing is obviously something that can linger and you don't want to linger, but I know Paul hasn't really gone into too much detail on how severe that was. It could have just been a little tweak, cold weather, one of those things.
If he's
assuming he's
not available.
Assuming he's not available, Hilliard's out.
No, it's got to be Hilliard.
Hilliard's pitching Thursday. He's out tonight. So
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, Hilliard to be out tonight. He's got to throw Thursday.
So for the weekend, you'd go Hilliard Thursday,
Yes.
and then you go Henry Friday, Walker Saturday.
Yes.
You just move everybody else up a day.
I would.
You move everybody up a day because Hilliard threw 100 pitches on Friday.
Yeah.
So then what do you do tonight?
I mean, Moffitt hadn't given up a run in 2019, has he?
Yeah.
So I'm giving the ball to Clay, saying, throw me 9. Like, give me 9 innings tonight. I need you, big boy.
Give me as much as you can.
Yep.
And then after that, would you give an inning of work to Beck or Fontenot, Peterson, say, go throw 15 pitches? Just like you would if it was a bullpen, just to throw?
Probably not.
Why?
I probably wouldn't because you're playing Thursday. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I mean, what if the inning gets out of hand? I mean, unless you absolutely had to have them, no, I would. The guys that I'm counting on a day moved up, the guys I'm counting on to throw when you have some arms down, I would just kind of play it safe there.
Aaron George.
Yep.
Will Rapole.
Yep.
Yeah.
But look, man, I fully expect Moffitt to go 7-8 innings. He's going to go out there and dominate. Win the Cy Young this year. Can you win the Cy Young in college? Is that a thing?
No, it's not. It's not a thing. Okay. Another interesting question is what do you do with the DH? Because Watson and Reed are both going to be out. Watson's one of the 3 right-handed bats that you have in the lineup. So you're with Watson out, DiGiacomo is going to play center. That's another lefty. So do you go Garza tonight just to have a right-handed bat, or is it C.J. Willis? And the other thing, too, man, and let's start there because the other thing we've got to talk about, too, is Hal Hughes is out.
Mm-hmm.
So Broussard's at second. Reed's out, so you don't have a third baseman. Who plays third? Does Drew Bianco play third?
Willis played catcher in high school before he had his injury.
Catcher and outfield, yeah.
And outfield. See, this is fun. The players love this.
You got to figure out how to figure it out.
They love it. I'm telling you right now, like they don't know what's going. Like this could be
Interesting
cool.
take.
You may see Garza at third base.
No, come on. Would you put Smith at third, Broussard at second, and Bianco? I'm sorry, Broussard at short, Bianco at second. Do you better way to ask?
I'm not
it,
moving my shortstop.
Okay, let me simplify this then. Do you trust Drew Bianco to play third base?
I don't think you have a choice.
Brand Broussard is your other option. You put Bianco at second. Those are your only options right now.
Yeah, I would put Broussard at third before I would put Bianco at third.
It's Bianco.
No, it's Bianco.
It's not Bianco.
I had to think about
Bianca.
it. I had to think about how I was going to say it.
To make sure you screwed it up. It's like, let me think about this so I make sure I say it incorrectly. So
I would do that, yeah.
You would put Bianco at second and Broussard. I don't know that Brant Broussard has played third in his LSU career.
Yeah.
He's played short and he's played second. I don't know that he's played third. That would be, again, this is compelling. If Gavin Dugay's healthy, you have another infielder, you have another option.
Right.
But he's not. And Hal Hughes is out, so you're thinking of something absurd right now. I can see it in your face. I know you so well.
All right, this is what I got.
Here we go.
I got Braden Doty at third base.
Stop it.
I think he's played some infield before.
Stop it.
No, that is stupid. You're right.
I know.
That's a bad move. I wonder if Mathis has played anywhere else. Could Willis catch?
I don't know if C.J. Willis can catch, but do you see so we're having trouble with this? Think about what Paul Maneri's deciding. Like he has to do this for real tonight.
This is fun too.
You know what I mean?
I bet he's having a blast.
Like, what do you do? I mean, the certainty is, in your outfield is left to right. You got Cabrera, DiGiacomo, and you've got Duplantis. So your outfield's set.
Does DiGiacomo throw left-handed?
Yes.
Okay, so all those guys can't play infield.
Right. They're all lefties.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They can play first base.
They can play first base.
Right.
And Beloso throws left-handed.
Correct.
But we don't have any left-handed pitchers. Another story.
Right.
Another time. That's for another time.
That's a good point.
Yep. Yeah.
All these guys that can throw lefty.
Right. All right, so who's on the bench? You got Doty. You got
Willis.
Let's say Willis, because I'm going to assume Garza.
And Bianco.
You got Doty, Willis, Garza, and Bianco.
You messed it up.
Bianca.
You messed up your mess up.
Said it right. All right, so you have. All right, let's say Garza's only going to catch and maybe play first. So he's out. Willis is pretty versatile. He could run. He's athletic.
I don't know if his shoulder will allow him to throw. I think that's he had a labrum issue. He was diving back to first base and the kid fell on him. And so that's his problem with his shoulder. So that's why they haven't played him in the outfield or at catcher, because I don't think he's ready to throw yet.
Okay.
That's why they've had.
He's out. All he can do is hit first base.
Yeah.
But Beloso's going to play first.
Correct.
Okay. So he leaves you with Doty and who else?
Bianco.
That's it. Okay, so those two. Those are two we got to play with here. The other two.
I'm looking at the roster to make sure there's no one else I'm leaving out.
Is Jamin Garadell on there?
Jamin Garadell. No, he's not. See, and one more point too, and I know you're a Skip era guy, and a lot of Skip era guys who like to crap on Maneri don't like to admit this. This is another problem whenever you have roster limits. It's not just an LSU problem. It's a college baseball problem.
No doubt.
When you've limited the rosters and you run into a situation like this, it's not like in pro ball where you go, okay, just call up your AAA whoever, on the 40-man and just bring them in. In that era, you get 50 guys on the team if you want. And so just say, we'll go get the next guy who went to Denham Springs who just ached to play for LSU and will sit on the bench just to be able to wear the jersey. That doesn't happen anymore.
I agree. No, it makes it tough. You have to truly manage the roster. And so when you say, why does he recruit all shortstops? Well, that's why. That's why you have so many shortstops on the team, so you can be versatile like that. No, look, I get it. I understand.
It's also why, as an aside, it's also why recruiting a guy like Saul Garza is a risk. People are upset that when you don't have power bats in the lineup, but this is the tough part. Because if the power bat you recruit doesn't hit, then you have a complete hole in your lineup.
Yeah.
You have someone that gives you zero. This happened 2 years ago. I always forget this kid's name, but it goes to show how impactful it was, right? But I'm going to look it up right now. Big kid, he could basically stand on first base and he could swing the bat. That was about it. And He didn't hit a lick. It
Zeph
was
Zinsman. That's who you're looking
but
for.
Zinsman hit.
He hit.
And that was a different era. That was a different era when you could have that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Adams was his name.
Bryce Adams, big boy.
He went to Dunham, then went to Delgado. They signed him to be that big power bat. And he showed up and he didn't hit a
he
lick.
struggled. Yeah.
So you had a guy occupying a roster spot that gave you 0.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the danger in recruiting just a power bat. Because look at what you have right now with Garza, a guy that can hit and isn't your ideal catcher. Right. So everyone thought he was going to hit 20 home runs and start at catcher. Well, he can't. He's not a better defensive catcher so far than Mathis, and he can't hit a lick.
Right.
So he's giving you get 0 out of that roster spot.
What's he hitting? Do you have it pulled up?
Garza.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 seconds. Garza is hitting 204. And he has 16 strikeouts in 49 at bats.
How many walks?
4.
Ooh. Ooh.
For a guy whose MO is power, and you've got 4 walks. Meisner, the big kid from Mizzou, who's a center fielder, but he's not he's a giant playing center field. He leads the country in walks. The guy got 50 walks on the season. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you expect when you get this big power bat. Yep. Dykeman, hey, just put him on first.
Yep.
We're
not messing with him today.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, so is anybody else on the bench other than those 2?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, so you got Bianca and you got that guy, and you got Doty.
Okay.
Now listen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Just tell me what you would do so we can move on here.
Doty's versatile now.
Okay.
He is. Like, you can move this guy around. He's not just
I trust you.
He's not just a catcher. Now, Drew, on the other hand, I think has struggled a little bit in the infield and hasn't handled the breaking ball very good.
He hasn't handled the anything very good.
Yeah.
He's hitting like 103. He's out. He's out.
But can we agree the problem's not offensively?
Bianco's hitting 111. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said I'm sorry, it was 111, not 103. But he's hitting 111.
What's Doty hitting?
100.
Like on the nose?
On the nose.
Oh, man.
He's 1 for 10.
What's Peterson hitting?
1,000.
Okay. I think we got our answer.
It's my DH.
Yep.
Who's my DH tonight?
Could we go Little League like with a left-handed shortstop?
I'd do whatever you want.
This is interesting. This is fun. That's what makes it fun.
Do you let Giacomo play short? Like, as absurd as this is, like, seriously, but doesn't this illustrate the problem? Shelby said, start making everyone that's hitting below 200 hit left-handed. That's the problem. You want guys to bat right-handed.
You know what you do in softball?
And it's the righties that stink.
You know what you do in softball when the girl stinks right-handed? You turn around and make her a slapper.
Yeah.
So maybe we just make them all slappers and see what happens. I don't know. Man, this is going to be cool. I'm interested to see what they do.
All right, no, seriously, though, what would you do in the infield? Call it, really.
Bianco's going to play third.
Bianco play third.
Yeah.
At Bianco. You got me doing. Bianco play third, and you keep
Smith
Broussard
at
at second.
short. Broussard at second.
All right. It is the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine, primeoccmed.com. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine, all the good stuff they do over there.
If you're a business owner or if you're someone that makes decisions for the business, Prime Occupational Medicine can help you make your employees more productive. Super important. Keep these guys healthy on the job. When they're healthy, they're productive. When you're productive, you're making money. Call primeoccmed.com. Give them a shout on the internet or give them a call, 225-749-5750.
Prime Occupational Medicine, actually, as it says right there on their Twitter account, Prime Occupational Medicine is the leading provider of drug testing, pre-employment screening, injury case management, and mobile on-site services.
Or all that.
PrimeOCCMed.com. All right, let's do Kick Rocks.
All right.
It's now time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick Rocks.
As a matter of fact, NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Have you ever noticed that there's a little bit of an echo on that?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know why it happens here, but it doesn't happen on Fridays when we do Kick Rocks. All right, go ahead.
Maybe because you're running the board.
Operating everything from this computer.
Yeah, you are.
I'm hosting and producing this podcast right now. Hashtag versatile.
Hashtag multitask.
Hashtag stud.
I'm not going to keep going.
Hashtag radio guy.
Hey, the Cleveland Indians designated utility man Brad Miller for assignment. You know Brad Miller? Me neither. Nobody knows who Brad Miller is.
I wasn't even listening
The
to you.
Cleveland Indians designated Brad Miller for assignment. Decent player.
Right.
Not great.
Yeah.
Decent players. Had some time. Done okay.
Okay. Got it.
The reason why this is a story is because Brad Miller in the media comes out and says, I guess they just don't want good players here.
He was talking about himself?
Correct.
Oh.
Now, I'm not taking a shot at Brad Miller's game because I do think he's a decent player, but bro, like, self-evaluate a little bit. Like, look in the mirror. You're a career 240 hitter. Now, it's great in the major leagues. There's not too many guys that can do that. But, like, really? I guess they just don't want good players? He had a 3-time All-Star, and Jason Kippens is the one that took his roster spot, by the way. So he basically said, I'm better than the All-Star. Francisco Lindor, who, as you know, is a freak show, is coming off the DL. But Brad Miller, I guess they just don't want good players here. Shut up, Brad Miller. Go to AAA, take your medicine, and get back up there.
What's your problem?
Idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're not going to like this one.
All right, let me hear it.
Jay Bilas can kick rocks.
I mean, I got that to talk about in the next block.
Oh, he can kick rocks.
All right.
And we'll talk about it next block.
All right. Is that all you have?
Yep. You said you had kick rocks.
No.
You
I said I could think of a few.
and I said, okay, go ahead and do that.
For the first time
That's exactly what
for the first time in forever, you know at the open of this where it says, let's see if Ryan Theriot prepared for this segment. I've actually been thinking about taking that out because it's been years since you were unprepared for the segment. Today you're unprepared for the segment.
Do you remember we did the thing at the golf place? We used to do that.
At Edwin Watts, yeah.
And one time I legit showed up with nothing. Like, you were like, you played the kick rocks thing, and you go, all right, what do you got? And I said, I didn't do it. I don't have any.
Oh, my God.
That was not being prepared.
I have one.
Okay.
The fire that destroyed the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris can kick rocks. A big one.
Absolutely.
That is so sad to me. Did you ever go there?
No, I did not.
Have you ever been to France?
No.
Yeah, me either. Have you ever been to Europe?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been? I figured you would have gone.
New Iberia.
It's like Europe.
Just like France.
It's like this whole other country.
It's exactly like France, except for it's like
They
across.
speak Cajun French.
Yeah. Yep. That's the closest I've been to France.
Yeah.
Is Delcom. Woo!
Why are people watching this? We have like a record number of watchers.
Hey, you
too.
know
The
where I've
viewers
been?
today. What?
I've been to Mexico.
Good.
I've been there. I've been to Jamaica.
Good.
Out of the country. I've been to Canada.
That's a whole different country.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You feel like Live Oak is a different country when you go out there?
Nope.
No?
No.
What part of our area do you feel is a different country
I think Louisiana feels a lot like a whole different country altogether, really.
than other parts of our country?
Yeah. I think, doesn't it? I mean, Louisiana culturally is completely different than the rest of our country. Even the South, like Mississippi, even northern Louisiana is a lot like Mississippi, is a lot like Arkansas, Tennessee,
I was getting ready to
Kentucky,
say that.
Bama,
Yeah.
Panhandle of Florida, Georgia. Like a lot of that feels the same.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if you draw a line at Alexandria
Yeah.
and come down, it's different.
yeah, it's different.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
But that fire in Paris can kick rocks. And
Did you see the interior of
Yeah.
the church? Isn't that amazing? The
Oh.
interior was
a lot of it was preserved.
pretty good.
Which is great. They preserved the two bell towers. Well, just when you think like that building, and I don't care like what your religious belief, that has nothing to do. It's a piece of history. I mean, the building stood for 900 years. It has survived multiple wars. It survived World War II when the Nazis burned everything. They destroyed everything, and that building survived. And then on a random Monday in April, in the year 2019, it catches fire for 8 hours. Like, I am fascinated to know how that fire started, and I'm also just devastated that I haven't been either. I would love to. I mean, I took an art history class at LSU, and full disclosure, I took the class because my cousin took it the semester before, and he gave me all of the notes and the tests and everything was exactly the same. So it was just like an elective, and so whatever. But one of the cool things that I remember was we did a whole section on different cathedrals around the world, and obviously we did a lot of work in studying the cathedral there at Notre Dame in Paris, and it's somewhere I've always wanted to go and see. I think it's remarkable, and I'm very, very sad at what happened yesterday. It's almost unbelievable. When you think that our country is 250 years old, that building is 4 times as old as our whole nation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's some perspective. It's insane, man. But kudos to like did you see like this group of French billionaires came together? Can we give them a hug? Can we give some hugs?
Yeah, let's give hugs.
All right. There's a group of French billionaires that have come together and pledged $300 million. I think it's 600 million euros to rebuild the cathedral, which is awesome. So kudos, hug to them, and also a hug to Allison Musgrove, our mutual friend who ran the Boston Marathon yesterday.
She's a grinder.
Man, she's in like 3 hours, like 3:08 or something like that.
Grinder.
I should look up her time because if
3:12.
I was going to say if it was like 3:01, she'd be pissed that I didn't get, like, trust me. I know marathoners, if you don't get their time right,
They're pissed.
they're pissed.
Yeah.
Especially when you're running the Boston Marathon in 3 hours, like when you have to qualify to run that marathon, like you better get it on the nose.
She grinds at Traction, has grinded at Traction for like 6 years straight, every single day. I think she's done New York a couple times. She's done Boston. She's doing Chicago later this year. No, man, she gets it.
She did. So Allison Musgrove, married to Chuck Musgrove, Roto-Rooter, awesome people. See him at Traction all the time. I'm looking for her time right now. She finished in 3:18. 3:18. So good on Allison. And she also sent me a really nice message. She sent me a link. It had to do with a cardiologist and a runner and a patient. And she said, I saw this and I thought of Drew. So she said, every time I'm struggling with the race, I'll think of Drew and he'll push me through. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I mean, just like to randomly think of that.
Yeah.
So, and she sent me a nice message today. So congrats. Hug to Allison Musgrove for finishing the Boston Marathon.
Nice work.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to get to Ask Us here shortly, where you can ask us anything about anything. So you can feel free to get those in if you're watching on the Facebook Live. If you're listening to the podcast, you're not familiar, every Tuesday, noon Central, we fire up a Facebook Live. We record this on Facebook Live here on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. So go like that Facebook page if you don't already. Then you can watch us live and you can comment during the show, like Wes Theriot, your brother's watching right now. Does he work?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like he should be working.
District champ West Theriot, Central Private baseball team.
It feels like he should be working.
Yeah, it's his lunch break. It could be his lunch break.
It could be. You're right. That's fair. Kirk Taylor said it's ironic that a guy who hates pitchers wanted to be a pitcher. # confessionals.
Yeah,
that's not exactly ironic, but it's a little bit of a contradiction.
Yeah. I pitched a little bit in my time over at Broadmoor. My last pitch in high school was a walk-off homer. Some clown from Archbishop Hannon
Went off
in
on
the
you.
playoffs. Yep. Threw a slider. Caught it out front. Walked me off.
Okay, so you ready to talk about Jay Bilas?
Yeah, he stinks.
You know something I think you stink?
Nope.
Um,
Off him. Like Tommy Tough Guy on the radio.
Well, hold on now.
I want to get in the cage with Jay Bilas.
Hold on now. I don't think that's a fair characterization. Anyway, so this Jay Bilas was on After Further Review on Monday, talking about Will Wade's reinstatement. This was probably the thing he said that got that probably got you up in arms.
It's one thing to say, hey, the rules should change, and another thing to say, well, I condone breaking the rules. I don't condone that. So when a coach gets caught doing something that we all agree is against the rules, to say that for all the administrators out there to say, well, we believe in integrity and we believe in doing things the right way, like how I don't know the president at LSU. I know the athletic director, but I would have a hard time trying to tell anybody that we believe in integrity and doing things above board in the right way, and then coming to this conclusion. I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it to you. Look, I don't know Will Wade that well, but if he were working for me, he wouldn't have a job right now. I'd fire him, and I dare him to sue me for wrongful termination.
All right, so what's your problem?
He took that so here's what happened. He heard the interview that the morning show did with what's his name, Vitale.
Dick Vitale.
He's boys with Dick Vitale. They've talked about this. He knew he was coming on. This is all premeditated. He's going in hard right here, and he's trying to make his point and be the tough guy and blah, blah, blah. Like, he knew he was going on radio in Baton Rouge. Look, Matt, I've done radio all over as you have done, radio all over the country.
Please tell me about how radio works.
I've done interviews all over the country in certain areas, and this goes back longer than you've been on the air as well, by the way. And you think about
I've been on the air since May of 2003.
You think about the there you go, longer. You think about the audience that you're talking
were doing
with.
radio interviews in 2001.
1998, signed with LSU, did a radio spot. Just ask your boys.
If you want to talk,
anyway, regardless, that's beside the point. Okay, never mind. You're better at radio than me. Okay, you win. Okay, you think about the audience that you're talking to before you say the crap. That was obviously, I'm trying to stir the pot here because y'all got my guy, and I'm going to go in kind of hard. That's what I took.
You don't really believe that.
I do. I thought, look, the way you constructed the interview was amazing. I told you that earlier today. You were extremely professional. You asked the right questions. It was awesome. But I could not help but think as I was listening to that interview, like, dude, he's thought about this. This is premeditated. And
of course, he said he's thought about it. He said it everywhere he's been. Everybody's had an opinion on the Will Wade situation for 38 days since the 39 days since the Yahoo report first came out. It's not like he just had to think about his opinion on the Will Wade situation today or yesterday because he was coming on AFR. He's thought about it for more than a month now, like everybody has. The only thing I ever ask is be consistent with your viewpoint. There's people that get mad at me. They're like, dude, you keep repeating yourself. I'm like, do you want me to lie? You want me to make up a different opinion just to have a different take? It's like until the story has advanced and there's something else to say, this is how I feel. And that's what he said. And by the way, that's not an atypical stance for Jay Bilas, for other people to say in the similar situation they would have fired somebody. Now, there are also situations where coaches have been between a rock and a hard place and they've kept their job. We saw it last summer with Urban Meyer. It doesn't mean that Ohio State was right in keeping Urban Meyer or they were wrong in keeping Urban Meyer. I have an opinion on the matter. I think what he did was deplorable, but the difference between Urban Meyer and what Will Wade did is Urban Meyer, in my opinion, has a... Jay Bilas also mentioned his moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have an issue morally with Urban Meyer essentially allowing a member of his coaching staff, knowingly having this member of his coaching staff beating the hell out of his wife and not doing anything about it. Like, that's a moral dilemma for me. Will Wade allegedly finding a way to funnel cash to a recruit, I don't care. I have no problem with that at all, morally or ethically. None. Zero. I got no problem with it. Like, I wish all of that was done above board because there is no moral dilemma. If this is your market value and you can get it, get it. I just have no problem with that at all.
And neither does he, because he has talked about the players getting paid before.
We talked at length about that. He said, and his actually, I think that's in this bite actually. Can we play this, Paul? I think this is in there.
Oh, because, like, to me, and that's brought up a lot, the idea about how, hey, like, people saying to me, you're an advocate for athletes to be compensated, so the idea that a player got money shouldn't bother you. But it's currently against the rules. I advocate for a rule change. I don't advocate breaking rules. And look, I'm not naive. This stuff has been going on since the beginning of the NCAA. Players have been paid forever, but it's always been against the rules. Now it may, shockingly, may even be a federal crime, which I still have. I don't believe this should be the case. But good luck telling the federal government what's a crime and what's not. But I think it's one thing to say, hey, the rules should change, and another thing to say, well, I condone breaking the rules. I don't condone that. So when a coach gets caught doing something that we all agree is against the rules, to say that for all the administrators out there to say, well, we believe in integrity and we believe in doing things the right way. Like, how I don't know the president at LSU. I know the athletic director. But, I would have a hard time trying to tell anybody that we believe in integrity and doing things above board in the right way and then coming to this conclusion. I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it to you. Look, I don't know Will Wade that well, but if he were working for me, he wouldn't have a job right now. I'd fire him, and I dare him to sue me for wrongful termination.
So that was the full cut there.
Right.
From Jay Bilas. So we played the I'd fire him part, but that's the full cut where he talks at length about he is for a rule change, but currently it's against the rule, and he's not going to advocate breaking the rules. That's where he and I just differ. If I think the rule is foolish, I don't care if you break the rule.
And he also said he knows everybody's doing it.
Ethically, I have no problem. But here's what I said on AFR yesterday, okay? And this is my point, and then we'll wrap up. We'll get to Ask Us. So if y'all got questions, you can line them up there in the Facebook chat. If there are moral laws and there are arbitrary laws, if you kill somebody, in no society ever is that okay. Mm-hmm. That is a moral wrong. An arbitrary law is for order in society. The light is red, you stop your vehicle. Okay? If it's midnight and you're at a red light and you can see as far as the eye can see in all directions and nothing's coming, and you're go.
Like
right?
the stop signs with the white around them.
Right.
They're
Just
optional.
Gonna go, right? If you run that stop sign, is that immoral? I don't believe that's immoral. I don't think you're going to go to heaven and God's going to say, but you ran that stop sign at midnight. Who cares?
Right.
But if there's a squad car sitting up there with its lights off and you don't see it, and he watches you run that red light and he pops you, you got to pay the fine. Mm-hmm. There's a consequence because that's the rule. And just like Jay said, that's the rule in college basketball. And I get it. And if you get popped for breaking a rule, okay. I just, in this case, don't have a problem with breaking this rule at all. Like, I don't have a problem with you running a red light at midnight if there's nobody coming.
Me neither.
So that's my point. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So that's where I'm coming from.
He can still kick rocks. He didn't have to say he didn't have to say, and if I was running LSU, he'd fight, and I dare him to sue me for wrongful termination.
Well, he comes from a legal background, and that has been an argument, though, that people have said was that LSU was trying to, did they have cause? Were they looking for a financial out of the Wade contract? And I've said all along, because I knew they didn't want to fire him. Like guessing, I knew they didn't want to fire him. So anyway, if you don't want to fire the guy, they're waiting for an opportunity to get him back in. But the wrongful termination thing, I completely agree with Jay. There's no wrongful termination. They absolutely could have fired him. Being on that federal wiretap, that's a fireable offense. And then not meeting with your bosses for 37 days,
correct. That's
insubordination. That's a fireable offense. There would have been no lawsuit there. LSU had their financial out. They could have cut ties like that if they wanted to. They didn't want to, which is their prerogative.
They didn't want to fire him.
They didn't want to fire him.
Why would you fire that guy?
Why would you fire the guy?
Everybody else is doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Him.
That was a good one.
All right, we're going to get to Ask Us here shortly so you can get your questions in. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine.
Go check them out at www.primeoccmed.com. These guys are not just local. I would say it's nationwide, but I'd be lying. This is an international company offering safety, human resources, corporate planning, anything that they need to get your workforce better, to make them more productive. You can get it done at Prime Occupational Med. They have doctors, rehab, therapy, the whole deal. Give them a shout, 225-749-5750, primeoccmed.com.
All right, let's wrap up the Riot Podcast here with a little Ask Us. You know the drill, or at least by now you should. You can ask us anything about anything. Get to your questions here.
Hey, I just realized I can follow all this stuff on here.
You can watch it on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? What do you think? What do you think I'm looking at over here?
That was pretty cool.
And questions and all that stuff.
How long has that been there?
Literally every time we do this. The thing that I ask you to share at the start of the podcast every day?
Yeah.
That literally every day. Did you see the Les Miles, Bill Self, Step Brothers video?
No.
Did you ever see the movie Step Brothers?
Yes.
You know, whenever they meet and they're like, they go, do we just become best friends?
Yes.
Like that whole scene.
They did that.
Bill Self and Les Miles essentially recreated that.
All right, who's running all that up there?
Somebody in Kansas'
Somebody's-
marketing.
they're winning.
So they are winning. They're taking advantage of Les's brand and his brand awareness, and they are absolutely squeezing the hell out of that orange. Now, he's got to win football games, and that's not easy at Kansas.
Right.
But everything else they're doing,
Mm-hmm. You see him on stage with Rick Ross?
I did.
Yep.
I mean, being on stage with Rick Ross, doing the video, recruiting Rick Ross to come, Flip Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, all the games, buying students lunch in the union, having the students come out to practice and run through drills and stuff, getting the AD Jeff Long doing
He's a guy.
the gauntlet drill.
He's a guy.
Now this video, I mean, he's winning. Like the Kansas football brand, dare I say, has never been higher. But they got to win. I mean, that's the tricky part. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a decade since they won it. I mean, 07, more than a decade. 07, they won that Orange Bowl with Mark Mangino. They haven't won anything since.
Even if they stink, I wonder if they've got a plan to spin it like into something good.
I don't know.
I bet you they do.
All right. Ask us. Ask Ryan. Did you name your kid Houston because of the damage you did against the Astros? Chipper Jones named one of his kids Shea because of the way he tortured the Mets at Shea.
I'm not sure my career average against Houston, so the answer is going to be no.
So why'd you do that?
I was in Jackson, Tennessee. I went on the loudspeaker, and I had about 10 or 15 names. I went over the loudspeaker before the game started. Nobody was there, and I said names. And whichever one. I actually wanted to name him Jackson and call him Jack. But I was in Jackson, Tennessee, and I didn't want people to think I named him Jackson just because I was in Jackson, Tennessee.
Got it.
So we went with Houston. I thought Houston was cool. I didn't know any Houstons at the time. Houston Street was playing in the minor leagues, but I didn't know him. That was a cool name.
It's also a city.
Is it?
It's a big city.
It's a city.
Big one.
Well, there. Okay.
And then you also have a daughter named Georgia,
I do.
which I think would lead people to believe that you and your wife were maybe naming your children after the place where they were conceived, which would then lead to an obvious question about Macy.
Bro, those bathrooms over there are big.
The elevator's glass. No.
Yeah, hey, never know. Got to give the people what they want, Matt.
Thoughts on Albies signing for 7 years, $35 million?
Terrible deal. Horrible deal.
Why would he
Not
sign
good.
that deal? Is it just because, like,
Not good.
I'm assuming he's just been poor forever? Like a lot of the Latin American players that come in to the show, and so you see $35 million, you're like, I'll take it.
Yeah, bad representation. I don't know who his agent is.
My God, why
That's-
would you sign a 7-year deal for $35 million?
Horrible deal. Unless they know something that we don't.
Wait
like,
4
unless he's
years and
hurt.
sign a $100 million deal.
He's a heck of a player too, man. He's a heck of a player.
How does someone that small hit for that much power?
He can really play. He's a good player. And look, their team is they're locking everybody up. Like this is going to be a good team for
Yeah.
a while.
Ask y'all. Are y'all going to get to ride in Kim Mulkey's nice new yellow Corvette?
She got a new vet.
You didn't see it?
I
Kramer
didn't.
posted a picture.
Kramer
Hold on.
bought her a vet.
I don't think. No.
Oh.
Come on. Like, she makes $3 million a year. He don't. I mean, you think he's buying all the flashy crap he has? Get real.
Did she get that because does she have a purple car? Now she has a gold one. She wants a purple and gold car. Is she coming to Baton Rouge?
This was Kramer's tweet. My mom got a new Corvette today. He said, but I think it's more Cannon style. And there's his
Look at that little
nephew,
grinder.
his little nephew Cannon, behind the wheel. That's on Kramer's Twitter. So yeah, Kim Mulkey got a new Corvette. Check out that. Woo!
Purple and gold. She coming down.
I love her a little bit. Do you love her? I love her.
I can't wait to see her coaching here. I'm fired up about that.
I mean, legitimate odds you think that could actually happen?
Probably 0.
Why?
I don't think that this athletic administration is going to pay her what she's worth to do what she needs to do to get her here. I don't know. I know she would entertain it. It's Louisiana. I mean, I don't know. You have to pay her 3, right?
Right. So she's making 2 at Baylor. What would it cost to get her away from Baylor?
2.5.
You think she'd leave Baylor for an extra $500,000 a year?
I think so. How many championships has she won?
3.
Okay. I've done it here. There's a new challenge. Where can we go next? Get me back home. 30 minutes from my hometown in Hammond. Yeah.
Ask us, Ryan, do you have any third base attraction that can play tonight for the Tigers?
No, I don't.
Ask us, does LSU go to Omaha?
Yeah, I think so.
I've been saying that all along. I'm not going off it yet. They're 9-6 halfway through the conference schedule. Do one game better than that the rest of the way, and you're 20-10, and you're a national seed, and then someone's got to come to the box and beat you. And I think it's doable when you look at the schedule ahead. So, yeah, I'll stick with it. Brett DeLatte, ask us, LSU's been riddled with injuries for 2 seasons in a row. Does this make you question the strength and conditioning coach at all, or just bad luck?
Anytime you see soft tissue injuries, I think you start to ask some questions. You know, I don't know that it's strength and conditioning or if it's the way these guys are preparing both pregame and postgame, where they're recovering. I mean, soft tissue injuries generally are the ones that you start going, okay, like, you know, is there maybe something here? But I wouldn't say riddled with injuries the last 2 years. I mean, you got a guy with a hamstring. That happens. The growing thing, I mean, it just...
Hal Hughes was sliding into a base.
Yeah.
Gavin Dugas was sliding into a base.
What are you going to do?
Zach Hess's spike got caught on the mound, an
Right.
artificial mound.
Right. They do it, and let me
Zach
just say
Watson
this.
was lunging for the base and landed awkwardly. I mean, it's...
Those guys that are in charge of that do a great job, too. They really do.
Let's see. Ask us, Good Friday or Easter plans? We always do a crawfish bowl. Our family's done a gigantic Easter crawfish bowl forever on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, we'll do crawfish Easter Sunday as well. In France. I'm going to France.
What are you going to France for?
Or New Iberia, same thing.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I messed that up. Did you ask Jay about Zion being mentioned on the recordings? I asked him not specifically about Zion. Well, we did talk about the text messages with the Kansas assistant, and then also about I asked him if he felt LSU was treated differently than Blue Bloods. Go listen to the interview. It was pretty good.
It was a good one.
Ask Ryan, how far would you go to ensure Kim Mulkey comes to LSU?
I don't know. I'd love to see her here.
All right. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back for the Riot Radio Hour on Friday on AFR. In the meantime, every Tuesday, the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. If you're watching us on Facebook, please share this post. That's a gigantic help. If you're listening to the podcast, pass it on. Tell a friend. The Riot Podcast every Tuesday presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. Paul O'Neill, thanks. Peace.